I'm not going to sugarcoat anything or much of anything at all in this video. I want to be honest and transparent with the community I brought together. That community that will build my social media standing to where it's been, as small as it is. My channel started with Growtopia. Yeah, that's true, and it's not like that's hidden story or drama or something. However, my passion for this genre of game, social media, sandbox, economy, whatever, was gone by the time that I started to gain plenty of traction in the community. My passion with games is actually in first-person shooters, survival games, brain games, and games where my knowledge and quote-unquote skill and actions give an immediate reward. The reason for this is quite simple, but I'll get into that shortly. But anyway, Pixel Walls. The community this game brought, it truly showed me that I'm able to be a part of a quote-unquote family, if I can get the leeway to call it that. And it grew to me to accept a place where I could fit in until reality hit me. I wasn't happy being a Pixel Worlds content creator. Not just due to what the community itself was becoming, but also due to the fact that more and more it felt like real life. I was limited to do so much because of my disease in real life, and then within the game I was limited to do so much because, well, I just didn't have that type of power in the game. I was able to push and help some by having connections to staff, and I almost had a good connection to upper staff. But Endless and I didn't talk for more than a few messages on the old forums. But even then, he even said he loved my Ravennic cape, and that was my inspiration to get back into graphic design, which ended shortly after due to the forums changing and I lost contact with him to show designs. As I grew even larger in the small community of Pixel Walls creators, one thing that kept me neutral was the fact that in the real world, I'm very much near the unimportant one in a lot of ways, but I am also one who brings a lot of people together quite strong. I'm almost that glue friend, I don't know what it's called, but that guy, that was me. So it never got me to feel big-headed about having followers shoot up from 500 to 2,000, or my subscriber count going from 450 to 1,000. I kept myself humble, or rather the different groups and communities I was a part of kept me humble as an individual. As I said earlier, my passion in games is first-person shooters, survival games, brain games, and games where knowledge or simply being able to have a better reaction time than the other person grants something of benefit immediately on the spot. Now, the reason for this is I have sickle cell disease. That is a blood disorder passed down through my father and mother, both having a trait of the disease, meaning they can pass the disease on to one of their children 25% of the time. And I was the unlucky one. So, yeah. If you want to learn more about my life in regards to sickle cell disease, I've written a book that I'll link in the description where I talk about it from birth to my current age. I became boastful, I have 3,000 followers, or just not being grateful for the small presence I have on YouTube or Instagram, and for that I genuinely apologize. Though not many have noticed this, I rather apologize now that I've acknowledged that mentally, that is what I've been growing into. It's not like I am a giant creator or anything, and if I was, more people could have been exposed to such behavior, and online, people are influenced by numbers quite easily. I've been in good positions in various communities due to my personality, my knowledge, my skill set, or maybe some of it just to who I am. Whether I deserve all these positions I've been in and are currently in, I forced myself to uphold a certain quote-unquote standard that I'm just a good and wholly mature individual who always helps and never needs help. However, quite literally having the disease I often do need help, and I often lie to myself and others that I don't. And it's all to prove a point that I'm able to be normal like you. I apologize for being such a person, as it could come across as plain wrong in some cases. And it is technically, not even technically, it just is me lying to you and to myself. As of recent, a lot broke down for me, which made me sit and think a bit. My graphics card, the RX 550, is no longer supported, which is expected. It's a very old card. My CPU is soon to be outdated, the i7-3770, and it's already been giving me issues with my SSD for the past couple days. My health isn't going well. I have a leg ulcer. In fact, I have several leg ulcers developing, healing and getting worse over time for the past 3, 4, 5 years, and now once again it's unfortunately getting worse. My job life isn't going well at all. As mentioned earlier, it's not easy to get a job that allows my health not to be bothered. My mental health isn't the best. I've had depression to some degree due to my health and the positions I've ended up in due to my younger days and my health being far worse back then in comparison to now. But healing takes time. It's been 5-6 years roughly, so that's progress. My company that most of you may know, I've started, DeVz Productions with 2 eyes because we don't question why, is on a hopefully temporary break due to health and financial reasons and some slight business reasons. Overall, the bad things have outweighed a lot of the good in my head, and I'm working on changing these for the better. To clear the negativity is something I want to be able to do, but as of now, I'm not the best, and things do get to me over time. In the past, I was able to tell people more often than not that I needed help or that I felt this way or whatsoever the case may be. I was able to tell. However, I've gone back to shutting off from ever needing help or saying I need help or just admitting that sometimes I'm just not the strongest one in the bunch, and just trying to prove myself to everyone that I'm strong, I'm this, I'm capable, I'm smart, I'm this, I'm not all that. I am just a human being. I have my flaws, I have my benefits, or whatever that word is that is opposite of flaws. Again, thanks for watching me as a creator. I've grown in multiple ways and failed in some. There's a lot for me to work on in the future and a lot that I'm working on now. For the points I just listed, here's what I am doing towards fixing these. In regards to the graphics card and GPU, our computer at hold, I'm attempting multiple side jobs. I'm applying to a bunch at the moment, and side gigs to save every bit of income I can get to buy a cheap PC. Alongside the fact that my currency is worth less than the US dollar, $600 US PC would cost me roughly $2,000 XCD, Eastern Caribbean dollar. So there's ways for me to get before I'm able to even afford, say, a GPU, much less. I've mass created books, crafts and arts to sell at stores in my country at the moment. I've launched official merch for the channel. There is an available code still to get a percentage off, as well as Twitch subscribers, which I'm thankful for. They get another percentage off, and they also get their own custom merch if requested. In regards to my health, I'm honestly not sure what exactly to do about the ulcers, but I keep them clean and I'm 80% enclosed in an air-conditioned room, as the heat is what lets my body get worse. I am far off better in the cold environment than the hot, and I live in the Caribbean, so 90% of my time is in the heat because we live on the equator. So I'm doing the best in terms of keeping my body cool that I am able to. In regards of my job life, I've lost hope of actually getting a job. I'm technically not going to say I have sickle cell, but I will say that I do have an underlying illness that can render me sick for a few weeks, perhaps. I'm just kind of desperate because I don't want to be a leech to the family. In regards to my mental health, I used to vent on Discord in a special channel, but I've changed to talking to my friends IRL about my mental state and whatnot. Not often at all, but I'm actually able to talk now about it. And aside from that, I had a therapist for 2 years who now is not a therapist. They have resigned because, well, I mean, it's come to the point where they want to resign with the money they've made, I suppose, or whatever. In regards to my company, it's not running officially. However, I do get gigs once in a while, and when we do get them, I still have to pay the other 2 assistants in the business itself, and the business itself has to get money to safeguard the products that we do own. For example, the 2 cameras, the tripods, the bags, the gear, and other. In regards to my overall state of mental well-being or my well-being in general, I'm just trying my best to be a better version of me. As I promised my long-lost daughter in heaven, I strive to always be the better version of me, forever. Thanks for watching. I'll see you whenever I'm able to edit another video, as this PC might not last much longer.